sick of all these empty conversations. I don't understand your testing me, and all this hesitating got me losing.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joseph. In today's video, I'm taking you behind the scenes to yet another photo and video production that I did for one of the fashion brands here in Ghana called BTS. And I got to record a BTS, so I get to share the entire process and experience with you. What happened was we had to shoot pretty fast and also deliver pretty fast. This informed the way I had to streamline the creation process because I was doing both photo and video, and we did campaign video, we did campaign photos, then we did lookbook video, and we did e-com photos and videos as well. Now, if you're commissioned to do something like this, one thing that you should always consider is finding a way to be able to work quickly so that your equipment is not working against you, but rather working with you or for you, enhancing your shooting process, or just, allowing you to be able to work a lot faster. So in this case, I knew that I can't just use one camera. I know a lot of the brands are marketing hybrid cameras, a camera that can shoot photo and video, but when it comes to a situation like this, that hybrid does not really matter anymore, because you might be rigging out your camera just to be able to use the camera to the max for that particular task. So in this case, I was supposed to be shooting vertical videos for the campaign, but the way I had rigged out this R6 Mark II for this campaign meant it would be actually harder for me to tear the camera apart and then take the stills, whilst also the models being ready or on standby for us to do video. So on set there were about 3 models, right? And for the campaign video that we were doing, there were some scenes where we had to combine some of the looks, some of them where they had to shoot individually. So imagine, probably by the time I'm done shooting one of the single shots, 2 of the models might be ready to do their pair shots, and I can't now rig off the camera for photo and then rig it back on for video. That would have been a really cumbersome process. I used my R6 Mark II for video just because I felt it was more capable to do that, and I also wanted to be handheld so that I'm a little bit faster. I can find the angles I want to shoot at really fast, and then also commit to those. For my video rig, I dedicated my 24-70 RF lens onto that camera for 2 reasons. 24-70 means I have a lot of range to work with. I can go wide and I can punch into about 70mm on that same lens, and it also has image stabilization, so that paired with the IBIS in the camera meant I will have more stable footage when I'm shooting handheld. For the Canon R8, I only had the RF50 1.2 on there because I wanted to stick to that focal length. I just feel it looks really flattering because you're not too far away from your models, and so communication is easier, and then also it just gives a really nice compression and field of view when you're capturing fashion, especially. So on that lens, I could actually go low, shoot at a higher angle, step back and get a slightly wider shot, come closer, and I still will be able to focus and grab my shot. So that was what I was thinking about when I was doing this, and to me, I think it really worked well. We're able to work really fast because, again, when we're shooting the campaign outdoors, we only picked select few outfits, so it wasn't the entire collection that we're going to shoot anyway, and we shot that in the early part of the day because we also wanted to use natural lights. So speaking of that, I'm going to also talk a little bit about my lighting setup. So because we're shooting outdoors, right, I used the daylight as my base, so that is what I exposed for initially. But again, it wasn't an exposure that was good enough to illuminate the entire scene. I could have shot with natural light, but I wanted some direction. I wanted a bit of contrast and a certain type of mood in the images, and so I decided to set up my LED first. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, again, I'm shooting photo and video. So once I position the LED where I want, and also on the LED I used a Fresnel because I wanted to 2x the output of the Amaran 660, but then also because we're shooting outdoors and it wasn't a cloudy day, I felt if we have that specularity or the harshness that the Fresnel will give, we're still able to make it look a lot more believable, right? So anytime we're doing any of the outdoor shots, either we're placing hair in a shaded area and then using the LED to illuminate them, or sometimes actually adding the silver reflector to bounce a little bit more of the sun into the frame. And then for the photos, what I did was actually do a 2-light setup. So I used my Photech as my fill, because again I was using the Fresnel of the LED in addition to the strobes, and then I had one in the back as an edge light just to add a bit of separation. So you see one of the scenes where she was standing in front of one of the plants, you could see the sun was already illuminating the leaves behind her, and so it made sense for you to be able to physically and visually see an edge light present in the shot. And what I used for that was my Flashpoint 400 Pro, and that was also modified in a cone or a reflector because we wanted that edge light to be specular and harsh. For the light in the Photech, I wanted that to be a little bit soft because I didn't want that the shadow created from that light to compete with what I was getting from the LED. So it didn't make sense for me to also go with a smaller or specular modifier for that. I just wanted a bit of directionality. So you notice the light was also not pointing straight at the models, it was coming in at an angle, and that just helps you create some shadow and depth and texture in your shot. So the lighting setup was pretty simple. 2 lights maximum as in strobes, and then 1 LED, so that I could switch between photo and video quickly. Coming up with this plan truly made us be nimble, work fast, and be able to get the shots that we needed quickly. You also notice when I'm shooting photos, I still connect my iPad to that because again, I'm not working on this project on my own. My clients have to be involved, and so I dedicate an iPad outdoors, indoors, wherever it is, so that they can see exactly what we're getting. And if they love a particular shot, we can either move on quickly, or if there's something that we need to fix, they get to see it and then we fix it right on set. I also had a dedicated monitor to our art director Debbie, and she was also looking at the videos as well to make sure that we're getting the essence that she had imagined for this entire campaign. And I think overall we're able to work together to create a series of images and visuals that to me look really amazing. So I'm going to leave you with some of the photos that we captured during the campaign, and then also let you watch a campaign video which was entirely shot in portrait. Let me know what you think, and if you want to see more behind the scenes videos like this, let me know in the comments down below. I'll put links to the art director and to the fashion line all down below. You can check them out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, don't ever give up.
No reason not to waste time, waste time. Got me working on my appetite. Loving your summer fever waistline, waistline.